How is it going, guys? Got your match today against Jaysmoove101, and this was probably from a couple of weeks ago. I haven't actually played any Pokemon in, well, over a week, I guess. Purely because of Black Ops 2 coming out. That game has become like my crack at the moment, but nonetheless, I do still have some Pokemon games, and I will be sure to carry on bringing them. Now, this one, I believe my opponent Jaysmoove101, I don't know if I said that, has already uploaded his side of the battle. So if you want to go check that out, I'll put that in the video description. Now, he leads off with the Beedrill, and I haven't seen many Beedrills. I think I've seen like 2 or 3, and they're either like Focus Sash, Endeavor, Toxic Spikes, or they're something along the lines of like a specially defensive one. But it turns out he has some kind of weird set going here. He has Sub, he has Focus Energy, and I kind of didn't realize that to start with, but Beedrill does actually get access to the Sniper ability, the same one as Fearow, and that basically raises the, like, if you get a critical hit, it'll make it do triple damage as opposed to double, so that's why he's going for that. That kind of makes sense. Pretty interesting set. However, I don't think he actually gets any crits whatsoever on my Pineco, or maybe he did and I just missed it, but I thought that was pretty funny. Pineco does a decent amount of damage, I guess, and gets up some layers of spikes, so that's fine, that's all I could ask from him. I bring in my Zebstrika, which is mainly physical based, although it does have the Overheat, purely because it doesn't get many moves and Overheat's kind of cool. Now in comes the Piloswine, and I am Life Orb, so I figure I'll go for an Overheat and see how much it does. And Piloswine is normally physically based, so I figured it would do a lot more. However, what I kind of forgot was the fact that he has the Thick Fat ability, and he has pretty damn good defenses anyway, so yeah, that didn't do all that much, and I guess the fact that I have no special attack investment probably factors into the equation somewhere there. But nonetheless, he is going to take me out there with a Icicle Crash, which is fine, whatever. Now, I figured he might do this, so I didn't want to go for a Flame Charge, so I'm going to go for Superpower and hopefully take out whatever comes in. If not, it should be able to take out the Piloswine from that kind of range. So Heatmor comes in, does a pretty damn good amount of damage, and by the way, shiny Heatmor, definitely going to have to start using that. Look at him! It looks so badass! And if Heatmor actually had pretty good speed, you'd probably see a lot more people using it, but that's the curse it's been landed with. It does get really high special, well, okay, moderately high special attack, moderately high attack, and a pretty good variety of moves. So maybe like with a Salakberry Gluttony set, it could work pretty well. But in comes the Altaria. I can't really touch it at the moment, and I'm kind of fearing like a Scarfed offensive kind of set. I don't know why I expected, maybe like Earthquake or something, which is why I go into my Simisage here. Now Simisage is kind of a new guy I've been trying out recently. It does have like a substitute Salakberry set with Nasty Plot, Hidden Power Rock, and Giga Drain. So far it's done reasonably well, but not in any of the battles I've actually got saved, so I guess we don't get to see him in full swing in this particular game, but yeah, it takes me out with another Draco Meteor, which is massive, ridiculous overkill. So I bring in Flareon here. Seeing that he is specially based and that he probably doesn't have Earthquake, I can now go for a Flame Charge and hopefully go from there. Now it turns out I nearly take him out here, but I think that was a crit, yeah. But Flareon, yeah, doing the damage definitely this game. One of my star players. So he goes for Roost. I don't know if I saw an item. Maybe he has leftovers, or maybe it's Life Orb or something, but it turns out this turn he actually goes for Roost, maybe expecting to be much faster and not expecting to take too much damage. But I do go for a Flame Charge. I was already faster, which kind of came to a surprise to me, but you know, whatever. Go for a Facade and take him out. Now in comes the Zebstrika, and Zebstrika of course has more speed than anything. And it goes for a T-Bolt and takes me out. That's fine, that's kind of what I expected. Now at this point I don't see Life Orb Recoil, so I am expecting him to be Choice Specs, which is kind of the normal Zebstrika thing to do. So I figure go into Hypno, pretend I'm specially defensive, and hopefully scare him out. However, that is a complete lie, my friends, as I am the calm-minding, taunting, Psy-shocking, signal beaming, very scary looking variant, and I go for a Psy-shock on the Piloswine. That's going to take him out. And I'm pretty sure that since this battle I've changed it to Psychic just because it tends to come in handy more often than having the, like, hitting on the defensive side. I feel like the extra power comes in handy more often in the PU tier. But in comes Mr Mime. It didn't click in my mind that he could potentially be a specially defensive set, just because I've never seen one run. But that being said, Mr Mime has, what, base 100 and something special defense, plus the filter ability, which is why that signal beam did next to nothing. Now, had I known that he was a defensive set, I would have gone for Taunt and then prevented him from doing any kind of shenanigans, but in comes the Zebstrika, and it's just kind of, oh, who can win the still war between Hypno and Zebstrika? Potentially he's going to win because I'm paralyzed and I keep getting fully paralyzed. Hypno, you got to break out of this, man. Break out, strike back. I think this turn I do go for a Psy Shock and I take him out, which is great. I think now it's just Hypno and something else versus Mr Mime. Now the cool thing about this Mr Mime set is it is actually quite a big threat. It does actually have some potential to do some real damage. Now he brings him in here, almost goes down to the spikes, but he has leftovers anyway, so it's not too big a deal. He goes for Copycat. Now Copycat, I thought I was the only one who used Copycat Mr Mime. Thank you Jaysmoove for being the other guy who uses him. I think it's got some potential, honestly. Copycat Mr Mime or Lopunny, I reckon the world should kind of embrace their usefulness. I think they're pretty good. Now in comes Corsola, and Corsola is my special defensive wall. I'm going to go for Scold on first turn, just to see if he goes for Taunt or Sub or something. It wouldn't have even broken a Sub, but I thought, hey, why not? Go for a Scold. Now this turn, I figure he'll go for some kind of attacking move, so I am in fact going to go for a Mirror Coat, and that is going to retaliate back and take out the Mr Mime, which is good because otherwise it would have been the longest Stall War in existence. That's fine. Mr Mime goes down and Corsola is victorious once again. So yeah, that was a pretty close match. I think it was only Corsola versus Mr Mime, and I'm pretty sure all my others were dead. Yeah, probably. But yeah, nonetheless, really good game. Really interesting to see all that stuff sort of used, and I believe that Altaria is the only one in this match which is NU, so it's almost a PU match. But hope you guys enjoyed, and with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.